Hello plebs and master debaters. Let's look at the North Carolina. This massive US battleship is actually a predecessor to the middle late war period battleships, such as the Iowa and the Montana. However, it has thin armor. 305mm at maximum and a minimum of 50mm on the Citadel, losing as much as 38mm from the Colorado. In short, never reveal your sight to even higher tier cruisers. That being said, it has brilliant guns, 406mm cannons with a reload rate of 30 seconds, which much like the Colorado, will make quick work of most enemy battleships, cruisers and sometimes destroyers. The odd thing is that the North Carolina is fast, having a top speed of 24.42 knots at stock and an even greater speed of 27.5 knots when fully upgraded. Her rudder shift speed is actually decent for her size, 17.3 seconds to turn. Surface detectability is also quite decent, at a whopping 15.66 kilometers. Truth be told, it feels very much like playing a HMS Warspite. However, that being said, the North Carolina is very much a mid-range brawler. One strategy you should use while playing this ship is to keep an eye out for German battleships as you try to outflank them, or to even snipe them. Because the only thing that's worse than American battleship shooting is German shooting. You may experience some of the following side effects, but are not limited to: having your engine block being penetrated by tier 7 cruisers, having to deal with South Carolina's bullshit, fighting the good fight only to be replaced by a superior ship and state, and finally voting for a terrible president. For a successful transition between the slow Colorado and the fast ship line, one should probably have played the USS Phoenix, the American tier 4 cruiser. This line between St. Louis and the Phoenix is roughly the equivalent transition between the Colorado and the North Carolina. Something that probably isn't known quite well is that this ship, even though it's poorly armored on the sides, has decent angling protection, being able to deflect 406mm cannons rather easily if at an angle. Because of this, it's always a good thing to go full throttle at your enemy while a bit askew. That being said, never go towards a German battleship, those fuckers like to torp you if you're idiotic enough to get close. A truly odd sight is that even though a North Carolina could be stock, it is reasonably a very good ship, despite the lack of armor, as we see later. A bit of advice though, is to not pull a complete boat of the enemy, since the North Carolina's armor is still really horrible, so horrible that it does quite a lot of damage from enemy ships. Always be going in an angle to the enemy. I also forgot to mention, North Carolina's cannons are about as accurate as a small child shooting a shotgun. But let us watch what happens when a North Carolina's shots finally hit the graph spree. cruisers should probably never get close enough to a North Carolina, since the guns are big enough to go through most cruiser armor, at most angles. The armor, as I have said earlier, may be thin, but due to the angle and slope of the armor, it can bounce rounds off very easily. Fucking beautiful. Firing at extreme ranges such as this, it shows how inaccurate American battleship guns are. That being said, my aim at this range is terrible as well, so take it with a grain of salt. At any least, the North Carolina is a good ship, if you know how to play her. A mixture of Japanese cruiser and HMS Warspite is roughly what the North Carolina feels like. But if you're not into having these types of ships, I would recommend the German battleships, since they will make the game easier for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that I did have been doing American battleship reviews recently, but oh well. If you would like to see similar, click on these weird buttons. Have a nice day.